people, the Pathfinder Club is a place where you can find prestige and protection. Can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah, and the club has earned respect and trust, and that's what the club generates to the parents. That's why our parents may allow us to go like to the camporees or activities with the club, maybe some old activities we've done to go to the zoo or go to the pool. I don't know, things like that. And this is because the club's program generates confidence in them. And it's because they know that the Pathfinder Club is a place where their children are safe, where we are safe. And that's the fame that the club generates. As back in time, also, Jesus' fame generated the same thing, confidence in people. So people heard about Jesus, about he made these incredible miracles, about healing people that make cause a good impression to people. So you and I now are privileged that we are in this club, in this really nice club, and every time we wear our uniform, we're not only giving testimony of we as pathfinders, but also we're testifying about Jesus, and that generates confidence to people all around the world. Um, well, so that's why I think we all should invite our friends or neighbors or family that aren't in the club right now, so they can also enjoy the activities that we all do in this club. And they also could learn good things about this. So I'm sure that also the mom of this little guy was aware about Jesus, and she knew about the good things he made. So yeah, about his fame, she let him go. You all know that part. And also with those 5 fishes and 5 loaves of bread and 5 fishes. Well, now I want to invite my partner Emmanuel to continue the part of the story.
Thank you, Anna. Okay. All right. Good morning, happy Sabbath, and happy Pathfinder Day, everyone. All right. So, if you haven't noticed by the signs which say everywhere, I'll be continuing the banner and continuing the sermon, Go with Jesus. With this section, sorry, Spanish people, el conocimiento or toca consentimiento, which means knowledge grants consent. Imagine the scene. In your heart, a desire was awakened to go where Jesus was. Many people like you are going. Even friends of yours are going along with their parents. However, unlike your friends, you know that your mother cannot accompany you, so you must ask her permission. Have you ever asked for permission from your parents? Have you ever felt that nervousness when you come up to the stage or into the room and you feel butterflies in your stomach as you're saying, "Hey, Mom, can I please do this?" With that feeling of, oh no, she's gonna say no, oh no. Now, as Anna said, the good fame of Jesus has generated great expectations. You want to be there. You are interested in being there, but you need to ask for permission. Some time ago, for me to participate in a camporee, my Pathfinder counselor had to ask for permission. We were still in classes, and even worse, exam week was coming up. I wanted to go to the camporee. I knew I would have a good time, and I knew everyone in my class would go. But I needed my parents to sign the permission slip. Next slide, please. In the Sermon on the Beatitudes, or the Sermon on the Mount, we are told that Jesus invited all kinds of people to come to him. He invited all kinds of people, come to me, come to me, come to me. See 2 slides next, please. Two slides. The scene of the miracle of multiplication does not have an explicit invitation on the part of Jesus. In fact, the mere fact of knowing that he was already there was an invitation to go and follow him. Now back to the story when you feel that you were scared to tell your mother and your parents. The protagonist in this story must have felt the same feeling we feel today. Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Where are you going? He must have felt, okay, she's going to ask me a lot of questions. He probably would have felt preemptive assumptions about the questions she was going to ask. But, before slide, I can imagine then that the boy went to his mother to ask her permission, but that she did not need to hear the arguments of her son, because as we said before, good fame generates confidence. Because she knew the fame of Jesus. She had full confidence. To be where Jesus meant it was a safe place to be. She was so assured to the point of telling her son, go with Jesus. Go to him, for there you will be safe. Go and stay as long as it takes. Go to Jesus, because in him I have confidence. When my counselor talked to my parents and told him what we would do and where we would go, my parents responded to me with, go, my son. Go with your counselor and have a good time. Go and make the most of your time there and have fun with your class. John 6:9, there's a book, if you can look at the slide, tells us that the boy was brought to Jesus with the refreshment that we may assume his mother had prepared for him. However, the story tells us all that of all the people in the crowd, only this boy had something to eat, and that something to eat meant he was being brought into Jesus' presence. Picture it in your mind, being brought to Jesus. If I had that same mindset right now, I would say, Jesus, I'm a huge fan. Can I please get your autograph? Now, the mother consented to let the boy go because she knew or had heard about Jesus. The boy was willing to give what he had to eat because he spent hours listening to Jesus, getting to know Jesus. And to conclude, next slide. Although the Bible briefly mentions the boy and his respective action as solidarity, the story opens our minds to the imagination and at the same time allows us to understand that knowing Jesus allows us to generate trust and the desire to follow him. It also allows us to understand that the persona of Jesus attracts. That the task Jesus entrusts to his people comes to meet the needs of the people of the nation. And also that no matter how old we are, no matter how much we have to offer, by being with Jesus, we become his instruments. And by going with Jesus, we become channels of blessing for our family, companions, neighbors, and friends. Incredible that a few loaves of bread and a few fish that the boy brought and gave to Jesus served as a blessing for the great multitude. Paul asks in Romans 10:14, how then can they call on the one in whom they have not believed in? And how can they believe in the one of whom they have not heard? And how can they hear without someone preaching to them? To be with Jesus, to respond to his invitation, encourages us to fulfill his will. Neither the mother in saying, go with Jesus, neither the boy in answering, I will go with Jesus, could have imagined what could happen hours later. A multitude that was delighted by the words and actions of Jesus was fed, as well as another multitude that was also benefited by receiving what was left over from that miracle. As you can see, Pathfinders, the Pathfinder Club is celebrating 73 years since its officialization, and you are a part of it because your parents said one day they told you go. Today, you are a Pathfinder, and you proudly wear the yellow scarf because you said go. I want to tell you that the greatest invitation Jesus makes to you does not contemplate being enrolled in the club. And it also does not refer to the fact that your name is written down in the achievement class workbook or that you are enrolled to participate in the camporee. The greater purpose that Jesus has through the club is for you to say, I will surrender my life through baptism, testifying to all that you belong to him. I will accept him as my personal savior, and through my gifts and talents, through what I have in my hands, I am ready to say, I will, and tell those all around me of the wonders he has done for me, around me of the wonders he has done in our life. Are you willing to go with him? Are you willing to say, I am, and go down into the waters of baptism? Look, if all year you have been at the feet of Jesus, listening to his word in the Bible class, what can prevent you from already being baptized? On the contrary, you surely know him and you're ready to say, I go. You want to have your name inscribed. Do you want to give your life to Jesus and have your name inscribed in the book of life? If you say yes, then I say to you, go with Jesus.